but coming into it, we're gonna see York Band and Darius Band, first two coming off right there. I mean, Darius, I mean, he did get a little bit nerfed in his patch, but I mean, I think overall his kit is just very, very disruptive and very dunkable. So it's really cool seeing Darius because actually, I think last week everyone was playing him, and it was really cool to see all the dunking happening from him. I think the biggest thing we were talking about, me and Gander, we were talking about deforestation, where Darius would be cutting down trees, and Malphite would be dying each time to his axis. So really cool to see Darius getting banned out for this one because they know the power and they know the strength of Darius and Dominion.
Yeah, I mean, even on release week, it seemed like in the chat room for Dominate Dominion, a lot of people were on the side of already just going down to the conclusion that Darius is too strong. He needs to be banned out every Dominion match. But there was one match where we did get to catch Darius, and he held up to that assumption that, his kit just brought so much onto the playstyle of Dominion. Of course, earlier Toodles mentioned that Dominion is geared more towards AD casters than rather traditional right-click ADs, and Darius is exactly that. He's an AD caster, and he's a bruiser at the same time. Has a lot to offer, so we see that banned out. Kassadin, of course, very, very popular ban in Dominion, and then Warwick being banned out as the last ban, coming out from Death to Llamas. On Team Champion Smite, the last two bans were Katarina and Jax. Now, I haven't really heard much, in terms of bans or picks for Katarina in Dominion. What's your thoughts on that, too?
Katarina isn't the strongest champion. She's a situational pick because a team with even a little bit of CC shuts out her biggest attribute, which is her ult. That's basically defines you as a Katarina player, is how you play with your ult, and just having to be able to be shut out by any champion, really. Because a lot of champions that are played in Dominion have CC. It's a risky.
So I guess
she's more of a counter pick situation if you know what the other team's playing.
Right. So I guess it was just like maybe a pick-in that they didn't want to really see because it could be a counter pick for their comp. So Team Champion Smite with that Katarina pick, I mean, really interesting to see those bans. But we do have picks going on. We have Lysic going to be picking up Wukong, Metapong with Alistair, Ezreal, Urgot, and Lulu being picked up. Oh my gosh, Lulu support is actually pretty strong in Dominion, so that's really cool to see. And then lastly but not least, Garen and Olaf being picked up right now. What do you see from both teams right now, Toodles, just for team comp-wise for either team?
Right now, looking at Team Purple, we've got Alistar, excellent CC, and tank. He's actually one of the best champions in the game to hold turrets, so there's a lot of metas where you just leave the tank up top, which is Alistar. Holds it down really well. Ezreal is a solid AD carry. Garen is not a usual pick, but he's strong. And Olaf is solid in both modes. So far on the blue team, Team OP, besides Mordekaiser. That's what I see.
Yeah, because
Wukong's bannable, Urgot's bannable. Lulu is always a ban. Mordekaiser not the strongest pick. Heimerdinger solid.
Yeah, the Heimerdinger is very, very disruptive to turrets, though. I mean, Urgot. If you haven't seen an Urgot before in bottom lane, it's really terrible. I mean, even he can kind of rotate the top, but with his range plus his corrosive charge with the hyper position transfer, I cannot say it.
Hyperkinetic position reverser.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hate that ultimate.
Tongue twister.
It is.
Right
but yeah, with that, I mean, Urgot in general is just really, really strong. Kenzo not really easily at bottom lane or even at top lane if really need be. And yeah, with the Lulu pick with Glitter Lance, I think that's always the key to be disruptive, and she is very disruptive and damaging and can make someone tanky support, so it's really cool to see that Lulu pick as well.
And then the last pick for Team Champion Smite will be Rammus. Of course, Rammus, pretty well known even in just pub games for Dominion, just purely because of his speed, and he gets naturally quite tanky. But I think he's not necessarily as favored as people make him out to be. There we go. Make him out to be in public games of Dominion compared to a team-setting tournament play.
Yeah, definitely indeed. I mean, it's just to see. I think did Shirley's Reverie kind of stop the kind of Rammus play slash I think no, that's pretty much it. Rammus and Teemo kind of used Shirley's, not Shirley's Reverie, Priscilla's Blessing. Toodles.
Yeah, that's why I kind of feel bad for Dominion, because like when it first came out, we had that whole backcapping like kit you could get, which just first of all, backcapping, like it's a legitimate strat, but it's also something that it takes away the fun of Dominion. You know what I mean? and to essentialize into that like game mode, and first of all, playing OP champion with the Priscillas was just way too much, and that's what shied a lot of people away from Dominion. Now that that's been banned, it's kind of less seen. Backcapping is still seen, as you guys all know. You probably met Pooters or seen his gameplay. It's still prevalent in the current scene, but it's not as much of a nuisance.
Yeah, definitely not, because they don't have the extra speed. But I mean, with Ramus, that's kind of was his MO, and now he's kind of okay. I mean, he's tanky. He does provide that taunt, but other than that, I don't know if he's going to be the best like holder per se or initiator at
Ramus is super strong. He's almost always bannable in Dominion because of his mobility. First of all, the backcapping, and his taunt, which shuts out squishier champions without any cleanse or. Basically, you got to carry cleanse or
QSS.
QSS, to get away from any Ramus, because a full taunt will destroy you. If there's any team involved, or sometimes may not even team involved if you're a carry. He gets OP really early and mid game, and that's where he really shines.
Yep. So Ramus, a pickup that definitely just shuts down a single target, and then also some tower capping capabilities. We are seeing a lot of just Revive Ghost coming out from Purple Team. I mean, we talked about this the first match we streamed about how a lot of summoners don't really prefer Ghost on top of Revive, because you put that mastery point in and you get a speed boost as soon as you come up. Otherwise, you're usually just kind of hanging around a tower trying to hold off on it. It kind of becomes a kite war until one team commits to a full fight. So you don't see Ghost being, Ghost, it doesn't have as many, I guess, chances to be utilized, just also because the map's so small. The chases aren't going to be that long compared to Summoner's Rift. It's not like you're going through tons of bushes through like the entire jungle to try to chase someone down. But we are seeing that double up on pretty much all of these summoners on Purple Team, and then Metapon actually taking Ghost and Exhaust to bring up that exhaust for their team. On the other team, on Blue Team, we see Revive Exhaust on Wukong. Again, the same combo on Urgot, reviving Garrison on Lulu, along with Heimerdinger also taking Garrison, and then Revive and Ignite for Mordekaiser. So I would say, I mean, just based on summoners, like Blue Team, Death Llama seems just ready to be a bit more aggressive. I mean, like,
Blue Team summoner layout is more team, like, it's more team play oriented, which is better because they have a Garrison, first of all, which is essential like to any high tier gameplay. It's just, it brings way too much to the table. It provides too much time. And if you look at Purple Team having Revive and Ghost, that just means they want to go fast all the time.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, there's a certain amount of usefulness you need in terms of summoner spells, and having Exhaust on at least 2 champions is key.
Yeah, I would imagine so. We'll see how that turns out. I mean, Purple Team does have a lot of mobility right now. Garen has a mini speed buff and then has that Ghost. Rammus has, of course, Powerball on top of that Ghost. Ezreal has Arcane Shift, and then Olaf can, of course, deny any sort of crowd control with his ultimate Ragnarok. But like you mentioned, yeah, just the spread outness of the summoner spells for Blue Team, which is Death to Llamas. They made sure that they spread out their summoner spells to bring more to the entire game. So we're going to be loading in here. Not too much to observe here in the loading screen. A couple skins on General Wukong coming out, Infernal Mordekaiser, and then Golden Alistar. Haven't seen the Golden Cow in a while, so that'll be nice to see. But everyone else is using the default skin. Who do you expect? I mean, I know Heimerdinger is pretty much always known as like the bot laner, but is it possible that Lulu's gonna be going bot lane, or is she gonna stick to the support role but took Garrison just for the team settings up top?
Personally, my prediction for this is Heimerdinger is going to be going bottom. Although there's 3 champions, actually to be honest, everyone on the top team can play bottom very well. I think Lulu's going to be going top as supportive with Garrison, and Heimerdinger is going to be holding bottom. But I mean, it could always be switched. Mordekaiser could be playing bottom too.
Right on.
We will see.
Alrighty, almost done with the load in here.
Yeah, looking like everyone's in really soon. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a disconnect thing. But really quickly, do we introduce team members as well, or?
Not fully. We just kind of mentioned it here and there, but we can do some official introductions right now. I'll go ahead with the Blue Team, which is Death to Llama. Actually, I'm going to hold off because it's probably going to switch over to the actual in-game, and I don't want to be cut in the middle of it and scrambling to see who's where.
No problem. Again, this is Dominate Dominion number 8 tournament happening right now, and it is going to be Trover LOL with L30, and we're just streaming this live for y'all. Hopefully you can get some more followers into the facebook.com/Dominate Dominion, but I mean, just keep it live and keep it proud, and getting into the game is going to be on.
Alright, so blue team, once again, this is Death to Llamas. Playing Heimerdinger for Death to Llamas, we have Landum. Nikes87 is going to be on Mordekaiser. Lysik is going to be on Wukong. And then the last two players, it's going to be Urgot being played by Half-Hearted, and Lulu being played by Wamax for Death to Llamas. Who's on the purple team, Bird?
We're going to have Core Wiggles on that. Rammus right here. We have Arazid with the Garen pick. We have Metapon for Alistar, Sarai for the Ezreal, Sarai, and we're going to have Verdun, probably, for Olaf. We're going to be playing that bottom Olaf, so really interesting to see for both teams right now, which is Nyak's probably going to go bottom as well. So Mordekaiser versus Olaf, very interesting kind of lane matchup that's usual in Summoner's Rift, but I don't know, for bottom lane of Dominion is going to be really interesting to see as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking briefly about it at the last few seconds of Champion Select. Toodles mentioned, anyone on Death to Llamas could go a bot lane. They all have a kit that allows them to hold that bot tower, and we did guess in the end probably Heimerdinger, but it looks like it's going to be Mordekaiser versus Olaf. We'll see how that turns out. Of course, the good thing about them being champions who can take bot is if it turns out the matchup isn't really working out for them, or if they just need something else up top, they can switch it up, when they have the perfect window of opportunity to do so. Both teams starting up, of course, Rammus with that ridiculous speed boost, used his ghost, picked up that speed shrine, and also used Powerball to get up top here. Caught, almost over half cap on this top tower, but Heimerdinger promptly puts down a turret that is running quite low, but they haven't taken it out quite yet, so it's putting out quite a bit of damage before it goes down. Garen comes up to try to save Alistar, but Alistar is going to get taken down as first blood. The kill going to Urgot. Urgot running pretty low, but again, Urgot has that range to continue putting out damage and harassing to the other team across the tower. Ezra gets taken down immediately. Rammus quite shortly after. The exhaust onto Garen is going to take them out, and they're going to have an easy 4-man cap up here in the top tower.
Great job by Death to Llamas, kind of singling out and focusing down the targets. Kind of like trickled in from Team Champion Smite, and then also the Heimerdinger turret, just that one really did so much damage to Team Champion Smite. So great job by Death to Llamas to do that. But we do see a kind of siege up from Team Champion Smite with the minions at bottom lane. So great job by Olaf pushing out that wave. And Mordekaiser, I mean, in general, even in Summoner's Rift, he's a pretty slow gainer, so if you can actually, push him up, he can actually not, farm up as well.
Top lane, again, everyone has kind of regrouped, and, I expected to see this Urgot just having so much poke ability, kite ability in this top tower team to shoot across the walls, either from the bottom or the top portion of that tower, now putting out a lot of damage onto Rammus. Rammus just barely showed up, almost running down to half health. Garen does aggress straight onto Urgot, but that wasn't the best idea. Garen running below half health. Everyone on purple team actually running close to half health or below. Rammus is the first one to go down. Urgot does get taken out, but Lulu continuing to poke across the wall onto Ezreal, and the kill is going to go to Heimerdinger. Wukong finishes off Garen, and now Alistar is caught all alone. Double kill going to Wukong. They once again pretty much 4-0'd. Urgot did get taken out, but 4-0'd the enemy team in the top tower, so they're going to be pretty comfortable up top.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. I mean, it's looking like Team Champion Smite. I mean, right now Rammus is up there by himself, kinda. And then Ezra kind of came right into it, and they're going to try to catch on Wildwick. Wildwick's going to take a lot of damage. You're going to use that spin the wind to try to get some damage onto Wildwick, and we're going to see if he can get down and get the kill. But Wildwick's just kiting it around, using that glitter to just slow it down, using the help of Heimerdinger and Wukong, and we're going to see if that damage is going to be enough. Not going to be enough from the ultimate from Garen, and we're going to see if Rammus can catch. But here comes Urgot just coming right back at Corviggle. Corvigle's going to get taken down really easily. Azra is going to get CC'd upon with Lysik's ultimate, and we're going to see if he can get away. Going to use that decoy to get away, but he's going to get hugified with that Wild Growth and going to be able to get away. Wow, 2 for 0 right there. Great job by Death to Llamas just kiting that one out.
Yeah, meanwhile, we saw Sire getting a lot of cap onto this top tower, almost neutralized it, went way half past point, but the garrison came out stopping that, and just so much damage coming out from the tower. Sire actually now going to go down to Urgot despite using Arcane Shift. It was a little bit too late. The last Acid Hunter did leave before the blink occurred, so now it's just Metapon left alone to try to push this lane out.
And half-hearted with that Urgot pick, plus the turrets all around are going to be really, really hard for Corberos to actually try to get that sneaky cap over at the windmill. And this is really, really great defense from the Llamas right now.
So I'm looking at some of the builds here as we continue this siege from Purple Team, just trying to see what they can do up top. Rammus actually picking her Rejuvenation bead. It looks like, I believe that you know, just given that he has a cloth armor and a chain vest, is he looking to go for an early random?
I think so, but we do have a hyperconnect position transfer, but great job by Urgot just getting the damage down. And here comes Llama just trying to get in all that AoE, just all the damage coming in onto Alistair and Corberos. Corberos just going to be taken out by the kiting of Half-Hearted. Great job by Urgot just getting that ultimate in there and taking down the team pretty much, just splitting them up with Ezreal being in the middle of the Lysic ult.
Yeah, you know, Urgot showing really, really good split-second decision making, got that ultimate. I mean, Ezreal's two-shot barrage pretty much hit almost everyone on the enemy team, but they were still turned that around. Urgot kited very well. Again, they took, and this time they knew the revives were down, so they took that chance to take this extra point here. So it's a 4 cap to 1 right now, and Lulu actually doing a really good job of just postponing them taking back their own point. Puts down the garrison to assist, and Heimerdinger comes with that extra turret. Rammus running so low. Is he going to get taken out? Not just yet, but he needs to watch out for Lulu. And Lulu actually turns around to pick up the kill onto Alistar first, and Rammus actually dies pretty much powerballing into Urgot.
And it is actually a 5 cap because we do see Mordekaiser and Lysic going to be taking it down. Actually, Verdun got ghosted upon, so sadly for not Olaf being down, helping up the enemy team, and this is going to be a 5-0. Really quick, we do have the item those like happening out really quickly. Yeah, I mean, the early randoms is still being built by Rammus right now, but I don't think anything else is really happening for the team. While the support build, Aegis Legion and Mana Manipulator, probably going with the Still Child, is Layla does a great job being that support, helping out the team, and giving that extra mana regen.
Urgot in a little bit of trouble, kept trying to kite the enemy team, and Wukong actually comes in, so much damage going down onto Alistair. Once again, Urgot is living kites into that health rune. Meanwhile, Heimerdinger picks up the kill onto Ezreal. Urgot just still kiting the enemy team with the juice through the brush, and lives once again with only 110 health.
Graveyard, really quick. We see Azareth going to be trying to chase onto Nyax. Nyax is just going to try to cut down, and then the shield. Enough going to be damage going to be mitigated from that, and is going to be able to ace down. Getting that 5 cap and protecting it pretty well is the team of the Llamas.
Once again, the 5 cap is still live, and Mordekaiser is running pretty low, but Blue Team's done a pretty good job of keeping Team Champions Smite on the purple side kind of sieged in their own spawn platform, and they're still struggling to try to find the first point. We see Olaf actually just running past the enemy champions, maybe just making a beeline for that top tower, trying to draw away enemies from their spawn area. But the game is going to be over pretty much here already. The ticks are going down, and that will be game 493-0 in favor of Llamas.
You know, last week the games are kind of closer this week. Wow, Llamas just showing up some work onto Team Champions Smite today.